What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here on the run getting things done. And I just gotta ask y'all, did any of y'all know that the WNBA draft happened last night? Seriously, did any of y'all know this? I had no idea that took place last night. I learned 10 minutes ago that the WNBA draft took place last night. And I know I can't be the only one out there that had no idea. So I don't know who all went what place, because, keeping it a buck with y'all, I don't watch a lot of women's collegiate basketball. I watched more than before last season because, it was fun watching Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese compete in college. But I can't say the same for in the pros. In the pros, Angel Reese was not as good as Caitlin Clark. I hate that was the case because I really did like their rivalry. But it wasn't a rivalry in the pros. Caitlin Clark just shined. And Angel Reese, it was a lot of fun being made of her for grabbing the most rebounds, but when 80% of them, and this was a statistic that somebody had brought up, I don't know how accurate it is, but if it's not 80%, I know it's got to be close to it, because you just watch some of the games and you can see that many of her rebounds are her own. So there was that thing. She was being made fun of for grabbing a bunch of rebounds, but they're all your own from missed layup attempts. But Paige Bueckers, she's kind of been the sweetheart who they've been pushing, and she won a national championship. So that just kind of gave her even more stock in the women's draft. She ended up going number 1. So congratulations to her. I mean, she just won a national championship like a week ago, right? Maybe, more like 8-9 days ago, something like that. But she hot off of a national championship. She goes from that to being a number 1 pick. That's crazy. But yeah, kudos to her. But man, for real, I had no idea that the WNBA draft was on the way. I certainly had no idea that it took place last night. I still would have no idea that it took place last night had I not checked ESPN just to see what the heck was happening with sports. I try to keep up because I enjoy the NBA, so I try to keep up with what's going on with that, and that's how I saw the draft was last night. She got drafted to the Dallas Wings, but then immediately got drafted, or not drafted, but immediately traded to the LA Sparks. So they call her a generational talent. If she's that, and I'm not questioning that because I've seen her hoop, the girl is a baller, but why did you trade a generational talent to a different team? Like, what in the world were they promising? I just usually don't see that happen. It may happen in the NBA, but I've never seen that happen. I don't usually see an NBA team who took a player number 1 immediately trade them somewhere else. Like, I couldn't have imagined the Pistons drafting Cade Cunningham and then immediately trading him somewhere else. And they'd be kicking themselves if they did, because, look what he's developed into. This is his 4th season, and he's showing what I always believed him to be. You guys see, I got a lot of Pistons stuff, and I have multiple Cade jerseys, multiple Cade shirts. So I bought into him day one when they took him, and I'm just happy for his success, that he's really developed into being a player that I always believed he could be. Nonetheless, the WNBA, it seems like once they stopped talking about Caitlin Clark, they faded. Like, all interest pretty much faded. She really was carrying that league on her back last season. She was the face of it. And the league itself, as in the players, seemingly hated her for it. That's just wild to me, man. I've never seen a player come into a league and be so transformative in terms of rules being changed to accommodate her that also benefit everybody else. The viewership that y'all claim y'all deserve is now happening. Wherever, when she comes to your town, wherever she goes, it sells out. You know, you guys got the chartered flights now because they didn't want her at the airport being haggled, but now all of you are getting it. You know, they were getting all of these benefits from her being in the league and seemingly hated her for it. And eventually they broke her down. You know, I seen her saying some interview. Honestly, I couldn't really watch all of it because it was just that cringy to me. But she was saying about, you know, how she's got white privilege and, you know, her success is, you know, on the backs of black women that came before. You know, that just, I don't like that kind of stuff, man. That's not cool. We talking about competition. We talking about hooping. I don't care that she white. It's like Luka Doncic. I like Luka Doncic. He white. You know, he may be whatever country, but I mean, he white. All right. And bottom line is, dude can hoop his ass off, and there's nothing you can do about it. You could be like, oh, he hoop better than a white boy should or whatever. Whatever, man. He cold as hell. And it would be silly as hell to me if, like, he was forced to read some of the same stuff. Oh, I have white privilege and it's built on the back of black men that came from. That's just goofy, man. We talking about sports. Sports is supposed to transcend all of that. So she came in, she was better than her rival. She was better than a lot of the league. I mean, there were still some veterans that were better than her, but she immediately showed up when she got into the league. She immediately made a splash. She showed why she belonged there. So I don't really like the WNBA very much, largely because of how it treats straight women. You know, you got Caitlin Clark. She comes in, she's white, she's straight. You know, to me, she's not very much of a looker, but you know, she cleans up well. People say, oh, she's pretty, so that's why they treat her the way that she do. You know, I don't know about that. I think it's the other reasons, her being straight and white and from a small town. You know, Paige Bueckers, I don't really know. She's white, but I don't know if she's like in the dudes or not. So I think that really, and y'all could say I'm wrong, but just look at the history of the sport. We have multiple examples of women in the league who, after they retired, gave recounts. And there's one in the league, like Skylar Diggins something. Forgive me if I'm getting her name wrong, but she got pregnant, and you know, she was given a recount about how tough the league was being towards her. That's why I can't mess with them, man, because they treat women so poorly for getting pregnant. It's ridiculous. I can see if it's some other type of job, but when it's a league that's all women, and you claim to be pro women and women's empowerment, to treat women this way because they decide to, you know, start a family is crazy to me. So as long as they keep acting like this towards straight women, you know, and just the overall trying to make the white athletes apologize for coming into the league and being good, like, that's crazy, man. For real, that's crazy. To come into the league and get all the hate that like Caitlin Clark was getting, like just beating on her all season long, and then after the season, you know, she was on the cover of a magazine, and people were like, why did they feature her and not the league as a whole, shining a light on the league? Because she earned the accolade. It's that simple. Like, she earned the accolade. If I go in and I do something, me, I deserve my spotlight. I'm propping up the league. I'm bringing spotlight to the league already by hooping the way that I am. So she can't be on the magazine cover by herself. The magazine cover got to be about the WNBA. It's not good enough that she's shining a light on there that the league otherwise wasn't getting. So nah, man, just until the WNBA makes it about hooping and they stop all this nonsense about being progressive, they stop all this nonsense with race, they stop trying to make the Caucasian athletes feel guilty if they're a certain level of good that people feel like they shouldn't be. I can't buy into that, man, because I just like people who ball. I just like people who thrive. My favorite Detroit Lion is a white guy. You know, the current team, my favorite player is Aiden Hutchinson. You know, he's a white guy. He from here, you know, and that has a lot to do with it. But he's a white guy. My second favorite is Sun God, you know, who's a black guy. I mean, you know, he's got mixed parents, but you get what I'm saying. You know, people identify him as being black. He seems to identify himself as being black, so that's what I'm going with. But you get what I'm saying? Like, in football, I don't be looking at race, man. Like, can you ball? That's what I'm talking about. Like, cut all the politics and stuff out. I don't tune into sports to be preached to. I don't tune into sports to hear about your political agendas. I don't care about kneeling. I don't care about you talking about wage gaps. I don't care anything about any of that stuff, man. These are non-sport issues. You know, you could say, oh, the wage gap thing, you know, that's a sport issue, but it's really not. That's not based on performance. That's based on that's based on viewership. That's based on merchandise sold. So it's not really your performance of why you're not getting what you believe you're owed. And that video. That's a whole different video, man, talking about how they just seem to be unable to comprehend simple economics, that your league isn't earning enough for y'all to get paid equivalent to the men. It's just that simple. That's a whole different video, but I'm gonna leave it there though, y'all. WNBA draft happened last night. I had no idea. I'm betting y'all didn't either. And what does that mean, really? Like, damn, the moment that they stopped talking about Caitlin Clark, all interest, all coverage seemingly just fell off of a cliff, to where the draft, which is supposed to be important for the league because that's fresh talent coming in, man, we ain't even know. Let me know in the comments what y'all think, though, man. I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.